thing is, like, Trigger Happy must look great from the outside because it kind of sucks from the inside, especially when you have some really volatile, really, like, unpredictable people, mainly like myself, who unfortunately had one of the worst days ever. We were very lucky to be asked to play Riot Fest, and we were even invited to play on the main stage, which I was very, very proud of. I even brought my girlfriend and her kids at the time to come and see it, and I was very, very proud of that moment. I finally started to feel a little bit important. So after we played, unfortunately, instead of eating or doing anything sensible like you should do, I drank about maybe 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 25 beers. And I blacked out. And supposedly as I was running back to get some more beer, like I needed, I ran into Dallas Green of City and Color.
Right.
And if I wasn't the most disgusting, most ignorant, most belligerent fucking asshole ever in the whole world. Oh, I keep forgetting you guys aren't on whatever. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I made a real jackass of myself in front of Dallas Green, in front of his wife. I even called him the F word, which I don't understand where that came from. So I don't know if any of his minions or disciples are listening to this, Ben. You're close with a lot of those people, and I've made attempts to try to send out an apology or just the idea that I don't need to be forgiven, but I am extremely sorry, and I'm very ashamed of what I did and what I said. Lucky for me, I don't remember it, but sadly enough, there was enough witnesses that do. Now, Dallas has every right to react to it to the way he does, or the way he has. Unfortunately, if it was someone was saying all that stuff to me, I just would have punched him, instead of turning to my phone and tweeting to about 200,000 people that I'm an ignorant waste of skin. But if that's the way people settle things, I guess I'm from the Wild West now. But I want nothing but peace amongst people. My band is great. My band made it very easy for a lot of you young bastards to make it nowadays. And that's the code and creed I'm sticking with.
Well,
if you don't like it, don't come. If you want to hear the music, be in the front row and put up your middle finger and let's have a good time.
I was just going to say, Trigger Happy is definitely one of those bands that has been influential to a lot of the younger punk bands right now, just Absolutely. As you guys were influenced by the first wave of the 70s bands. But the thing about you guys that made Trigger Happy very differently is that the energy and the songwriting and as well as the presentation was very different than, say, the music that you guys grew up listening to.
Well, yeah. Well, let's see. Like we talked about this before. Like a lot of the best punk rock bands punk rock bands and punk rock albums weren't recorded as punk rock albums. They were recorded as rock and roll bands.
Right.
And like the other thing about Trigger Happy, which was very unique, was sure we had a rotating cast of characters, but luckily enough, or weirdly enough, everybody was a different age. There was either you'd have a guy in the band that was 5 years older than you, 2 years older than you, 5 years younger than you. So. Like everybody was either into the Vile Tones, either into Teenage Head, Metallica, Iron Maiden, what kind of Iron Maiden, Paul Di'Anno Iron Maiden, SNFU. Like we've had people almost from all over the bloody country play in this band, even from the United States. So if anything at all, like we're pretty much ambassadors and experts for this generations of punk rock gig that we're doing in Burlington on December 5th. Is it, Ben, or 6th?
Yeah, it's the 5th. It's the 5th.
That's right, yes.
Thanks, Lou. You're welcome. I should probably know that.
Well, at least Lou knew that. Anyways. Yeah, so I think it's really cool. I'm very happy to be playing with Teenage Head and Grade. Finally, after 20 years, I get a show with Grade, and it's in their hometown. Yeah. Hopefully no one will stand there with their backs to us.
I don't think that's going to happen. And as regards to what you said earlier about what happened at the Riot Fest thing, it's cool that you came out. In my opinion, I think it's really cool that you came out and did that. We've all gotten out of hands before and done embarrassing things when we've been drinking. So, I mean, good on you for owning up to it, man. That's a lot of people wouldn't. So that's really cool.
It's a huge milestone. I still wake up every day and go, oh my God, if that day, I look at the pictures and go, oh, that day was so rad until me. Anyways,
do you remember your first Trigger Happy show, like the very first official Trigger Happy show, Al?
Well, there was two versions of it. The very first official Trigger Happy show, we were called Kingpin. And we opened up for Bad Religion at the Rivoli.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, it was us, Flag Camp, and Bad Religion, and it was an afternoon show. And, that was...
what year was that? Do you remember?
1990.
It was 1990, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, the back lane of the Rivoli. And then after that, we put out we recorded an album with Stephen Egerton from the Descendants, 91. And then that band went on tour out west, and we, like on a day like this, actually in this month, if not this day, we totaled our van, crashed it. And then when we all flew back from out west, no one wanted to do it anymore, so I kept it going. And I just found out that Mark Kluchnick, God rest his soul, a.k.a. Mark Gibson, was just kicked out of Monster Voodoo Machine. So I ran down to him, and Mark and I had a band when we were very young called Deep End. We put out vinyl and everything. If CV collectors can find
I got it on cassette.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I asked him, do you want to do this? And then we started writing songs from then on. And like I said, Mark was a very serious driving force. He was a yin to my yang, vice versa. And the two of us were unstoppable. When we wanted something, we got it. So from then on, we went on tour with the Bad Brains, No Effects, Furnace Face, pretty much every kid in the 90s, if it had Fat Records or Epitaph on the backside of that record or CD or whatever, we were on that tour. We were playing with it. And the other thing, we didn't really cop on to that sound until about halfway through it when we put out I'll Shut Up When You F Off. And supposedly
that came out on Sonic Onions.
Yes, Sonic Onion, local. We're talking to them about possibly doing some kind of re-releases right now.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because we have new songs. We have new and old songs. We have some old Hell Yeah, F Yeah songs that we're probably going to incorporate into this.
Cool.
And there's no reason why we shouldn't stop, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be happy in the band I started, and I shouldn't let people bother me the way that I let them bother me.
Well, you know what the thing is, Al? Like the older we get, the more mature we get in ways, but at the same point, we seem to have a way of just putting things into perspective. And you're absolutely right. Like when you look at yourself and you say, "Why am I not in this band? I enjoy doing these songs. I enjoy playing them." You have every right to do it, especially knowing that there's guys like Ben that are going to be supporting you and realizing the importance of this band by putting you guys on a bill with other really cool bands, as you mentioned.
That was really nice of him, and like I said, I'm still getting flack about that Riot Fest thing. The thing about Trigger Happy was the only good thing about Trigger Happy was there was no gray. It either sucked or it ruled.
Right.
Simple as that.
Well, that's all right then. That's an honest approach.
Good. Yeah, it's kind of good. But then there's some days that, you just don't want to be in it because there's more people saying stuff about it than there is actually. Like, I could say to people, I used to say to people just out of just curiosity, so, I saw you guys do this, I saw you guys do that. Yeah, can you name one song? And they can't name any song.
You're giving him a test right on the spot.
Yeah, I remembered when you yelled at this guy, Al. I remember when you called this guy a name or you gave this guy the finger or you yelled at Dallas Green. Oh, can you name any of our albums? No.
Right.
So it's just kind of weird. But then again, there's always been, like, even H2O, if you like them, whatever, there's a lot of people that wore that T-shirt more so than they knew any of their albums. There's T-shirt bands that people wear, like, I don't mean to be rude.
Wait a second. Wasn't H2O's record called 1, 2, and 3? You'd have to be
you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's people that they buy a Matadors T-shirt, not all of a sudden they're the biggest rockabilly fan or they know everything about it. Or the Creep Show or they buy a grade shirt, for instance, and automatically they're straight edge. Like, you buy a Trigger Happy shirt and automatically you've got a $200 rock habit and you're an alcoholic.
Or you buy a CBGB T-shirt and all of a sudden you're you're an enthusiast on punk rock from New York City, right?
So it's like, it's all, it's like what you say, it's all what you bring to the table. And Trigger Happy obviously has survived in some kind of weird way through people like Ben, through me, through other people. I've always liked the band. I just didn't like the way it was run, and I didn't like the way it was full of crybabies and drug addicts and losers. Me being mainly one of them. But now it's like I've got a third or fourth second chance, and I've got really good people backing it. So now it's time to make a difference. And if I can, like you said, Lou, if I can use my maturity and my education and my experience, God knows, let's just hope my mouth doesn't get in the goddamn way.
But, obviously we can tell that you're very passionate about your band. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to revisit it.
I have lost everything and gained everything because of that stupid band.
Right. Well, then you're living a balanced life.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
You better be there on the 5th if I'm leading that much of a balanced life, you wanker.
Tell us about the new stuff that you're playing, or that you're writing.
Oh, they're about 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. They have a start, they have a finish, and they have a middle.
Right on. That's the formula.
Is it fast? Is it?
Is it still in the same sort of Trigger Happy sensibility?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. Like as every person, I'm 45 now, so I've seen more of my favorite bands from when I was a teenager in my 40s than I ever did when I was a teenager.
Right.
So it's cool seeing, like, I've seen the Adolescents. Like, God damn it, we've seen the Descendants and all about 1,000 times in the past 5 years. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember when like 10 people would show up to see those guys at the Silver Dollar.
Right.
Like, nobody gave a shit about them. I sat beside Dave Grohl while he made fun of all when he was in Scream, and that jerk-off ended up in the Descendants movie saying they were great.
Right. Wow.
Who are these people? Who are these people? But anyways, yeah.
So, they're rich.
Yeah, pretty much. But like to say, I'm rich in experience, and I'm rich in strength, and I'm ready to go. And, the songs are going to be good. They're going to be heavy.
Cool.
And just keeping everybody balanced and everyone happy. It's like I said, I've got guys that are fans of the band mostly, and I knew them when I was in it, and they were just kids. But it's really cool just to, you know, the thing is, though, I'm full of memories as well as full of shite. But I have to balance out like what gets me excited and what keeps me balanced, and I have to try to not remember everything the way everything went. So, you know, it's not easy going back. It's no fun, but at least you can go forward with it. That's excellent.
On the phone with
Matthew McConaughey.
On the phone with us is Al Nolan of Trigger Happy. You can see Trigger Happy as one of the main bands that are going to be performing in this year's Burley Calling, along with Teenage Head, Friday, December 5th at the Boston Manor.
And Grade and TV Freaks.
TV Freaks are...
Sorry. We're also playing Sneaky D's with Monster Voodoo Machine on November 28th. It's a cancer benefit.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So come on down to Sneaky D's, see two bands that Mark Klupsnik was in, Monster Voodoo Machine and Trigger Happy. It should be a packed night like the old days in the 90s, like the Raw Energy shows at Sneaky D's. It should be fantastic.
Raw Energy.
As well as the Burlington show as well.
Mm-hmm. So 2015 is obviously going to give you guys a bit of insight in having some new material, perhaps?
Yeah, we got some new material. We're going to start playing out of town. We're going to Europe, I think, in May.
Wow.
And, yeah.
How often did you guys do Europe when you guys were sort of like active?
We did 2.5 trips.
You guys were on Bad Taste, right?
Yes, Bad Taste. Yeah, the Satanic Surfers got us hooked up with Bad Taste, and they were very generous and very kind. And, yeah, it was a real eye-opener, and we screwed it up big time.
You did Sweden now?
We did everywhere. Rome. We did Italy, Belgium, Germany. The only place we didn't get into was Russia or anything east of Germany.
Right.
Yeah, we were everywhere. I have the laminates around here somewhere. I can't really remember them.
It's amazing that you guys just really experienced so much too, you know, and it's good that you guys, specifically yourself, that you're just really optimistic that you want to do this. It's your band and you have every right to do it. And I think that's, you know, ownership is so important, because without ownership, then there's really no value to the band. And whether it's a guy that, you know, is going to have ownership that the other guys in the band may or may not agree with, but ownership is definitely necessary in order to put some sort of value and merit to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree. But Mark was irreplaceable, but we got someone that does the job very well. And I'm irreplaceable as far as I'm concerned. But I'm sure anybody can sing these songs, but no one has the charm between the songs.
Right.
Yeah. Right. The charm.
Yeah. You have to Nolanize them.
Yeah.
Look out.
You know. Otherwise, everything is good with you, Al?
Yeah, everything's cool. So expect the Down Belows again in 2015 as well.
Oh, who's in that lineup, Al?
That's going good. Don't worry about it. That'll happen. Okay. Then Adam's probably freaking out that I just mentioned the Down Belows. I'm just kidding. Hi, Adam. How are you? No, like nothing. Everything's like I said. As long as I keep my mouth shut, and I got guys like Ben Rispin and Yulu Molinaro helping me out as always, and hopefully like the people at the shows will be cool. Like a lot of people have been really nice about the whole thing, and then like I said, it's mine to screw up, and I don't want to screw it up.
But you know what? This is the energy that you need in order to write songs and to compose music, because it just seems like you're in a right frame of mind to write some really good punk rock songs.
Yeah, no, it's happening, buddy. I'm not an angry young man. I'm now a very, very pissed off adult that pays taxes.
So you're progressing in your balanced life.
Yeah. Yes, I fight and battle my conservative side every day.
Maybe you are your own yin and your own yang, Al.
Yeah, I think I should do something with it anyway.
Yeah, a solo show.
the Al Nolan spoken word.
That'd be great, actually.
I would be intimidated, I think.
That would be actually very entertaining.
Yeah.
Who are you listening to nowadays at the house? What are you enjoying musically?
Like
what music are you enjoying?
Well, I don't know what it is, buddy. I just cannot get enough of the first 4 Kiss records. I am just losing my mind with that. I don't know if you guys ever see my Facebook pages. I'm just liking Kiss things ridiculously. I've been listening to a lot of, because we're writing for both bands, I've been listening to a lot of early British new wave stuff as well. I love Dave Edmunds and Nick Lowe and Rockpile.
Great.
I still listen to Teenage Head. I still listen to Slayer. I listen to Metallica. I listen to the Beatles. As far as I'm concerned, the Beatles were the first kind of punk band or whatever. They're all high on speed and trying to get laid. You know, so yeah, that's pretty much it, my man.
Out of the first 3 studio Kiss albums, do you have a preferred one? Mine was always Dressed to Kill.
I love the first one because it has Let Me Know on it, and that's one of my favorite songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
429 and change. Speaking with Al Nolan, who is going to be participating with his band Trigger Happy in December 5th's Burley Calling punk rock show, which